All right. Second try, because we definitely did not have a botched first attempt. This is Speed Docs bringing you Launch Party, starting it off today. Day number 2 of a already wonderfully successful weekend is Konception. Any percent Grim Fandango. CJ will deliver the commentary. My humble FC self will do the hosting. I hope there's not much to do, but y'all been so generous already. I don't mind being put to work. So, with that, take it away and good luck.
Thank you very much. Yes, we have Grim Fandango here for you. My name is Konception2, and as Cannon said, we have somebody on my virtual couch here. Kind of, we don't, not incredibly important or anything, not, super important to the event, but if you'd like to introduce yourself, you're more than welcome to.
Hi, my name is CJ. I drive the van.
Yeah, in this getaway vehicle we call a speed run. No, but this is Grim Fandango Remaster, which is a point and click adventure game, but it's not going to be quite as simple as you think. And me and CJ are gonna get right into it here. So timer's gonna start in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, here we are. So CJ, you want to tell us a little bit about who we're playing as here?
Sure. So here's the deal. We're Manny Calvert, or Calvert if you're a one of those people. He's a Grim Reaper. He's not like a Grim Reaper. He's more like a Grim Reaper. When you die, you get a travel agent that sets you up with a travel package to the afterlife. So good people get to ride the Silver Bullet train to Heaven's Gate, and the other people have to go on foot for 4 years. And with like minimal exceptions in between, it's it's a pretty rough gig. So we're the skeleton guy. This is our boy. What's his name?
Glottis.
Yeah. You'll notice there's some like dialogue that's going on, and usually there are voice lines. If you ever play this game casually, the voice lines are pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But seeing as how we're speedrunners and all, we disable those and save some time.
Yeah, that was found out relatively recently as well. Like I did runs of this game for quite a long time without realizing that was a thing. But yeah, it saves about 45 seconds over the run if you just disable the voice lines. So it's definitely worth it.
We're also playing on the PC version, which has a few animation skips that are exclusive to this version. Which, to your point of playing on the saving time, PC is faster by a few minutes.
Yeah, quite a bit faster, because not only do we have these animation skips that CJ is talking about, which is stuff like going through transitions and not having to wait, and skipping the long animation of taking out your scythe, for example. But we also are able to manage our inventory a lot better by using number keys to pull out items instead of flipping through our inventory to grab stuff, which is all you can do on console versions of this game. So we probably save like 10 to 12 to 15 minutes even over the course of the run. Just put that stuff along.
We're at the street fair, and you'll notice we're gonna grab 3 balloons here. These are important. Remember them. 2 of them are inflated, one of them isn't. These balloons are gonna be used to help us solve some puzzles here in a minute. And the main routing thing here is just so that you get everything that you need on the first go round. You're supposed to not know what the balloons are for, and then find out what the balloons are for. Also, Manny topping his class and climbing the rope, and whoop!
Yep, got that A+ in gym class with all those muscles that skeletons have,
If nothing else, he excels in spirit.
Exactly.
At the top of the rope, you'll see this open window. We have to sneak into our boss's office so that we can change the automated message on his computer. And his secretary can sign a work order for us. Basically, we're on the precipice, quite literally, but we're on the precipice of discovering a massive government afterlife conspiracy. And Manny needs to know what's going on. So that's why he's all cloak and dagger right now.
Yeah. In terms of that conspiracy, so what's going on exactly is, so Manny is this travel agent, as we've talked about, and he's finding out that regardless of how well his clients have been in life, everyone is getting the lower class package, while his coworkers are being able to give away these, you know, higher class packages for nothing, which seems weird to him, understandably so.
Yeah, so now we're going to, you know, this is the chrysalis of life. A little skeleton has been delivered unto us. And, yeah, that didn't go well for him either, you know? Unfortunately.
Yep, exactly. We miss a cutscene there, but basically, his travel package is junk, unfortunately. So he's literally packed into a coffin and shipped off to go to the next destination, where he has a, you know, like CJ said up top, 4-year-long journey to get to the afterlife here.
I think we're gonna come up on one of the key pieces of speed tech. Is that it's after certain transitions, Manny has to walk forward for a little bit before you can resume control. However, we can tank through it by clicking on a transition point and hitting WASD on the keyboard, and this just lets Manny get through certain transitions a little sooner. It's going to be relevant in the run. Also, we just filled up a balloon there, one of the empty balloons, if you will, and that is also going to be important for later. All these things right now are important for later, in case you were unaware. And they're wise to him. You know, he stuffed this balloon in his breast pocket. Oh, look, there's the balloon that we filled up with packing material.
Yeah.
And we're going to shove it on down the pneumonic tube, which I'm sure will have no consequences for anybody.
Yeah, it should be fine. This is what these tubes are designed for, balloons stuffed with packing material. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, rolling around at the speed of sound, you know, those balloons have places to go. They got to follow their rainbow.
Yeah, exactly.
Just let me be a little bit nitpicky. Usually this is your job as the excellent wordsmith you are, but it's definitely not a mnemonic tube.
Pneumatic, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. It is a pneumatic tube.
we really don't want pneumonia. Oh, also on that, the flying dinosaur. Why don't you hear him when he's taking a leak?
Why don't we hear?
Why?
Because the P in pterodactyl is silent.
Why?
Why? Yeah.
I don't know how my mind works, but keep going.
All right, so meanwhile at the Legion of Doom, we just did a thing where we skipped having to put this fire out by doing this thing with the fire extinguisher, and then we were able to go right up to the door, make it so that the door will stay open when we can come back, and then we're gonna put a playing card here in the little thing. We're gonna jimmy it a little bit, and we've intercepted. You know, we're just we're being cantankerous. This is Meche. Meche's important to the whole thing. Meche, great life, lived a great life, charity, you know, she stopped to help people on the street. She was very charitable. She gave money to St. Jude, I heard. She donated to SDAT, and yeah, she got a bad deal. She got the bad travel package. And what is a conspiracy without an underground resistance?
Yeah, in any office, you have to have an underground resistance to keep the higher powers that be in check, obviously. All right, so more professional rope climbing, more office espionage here. Different office this time, though.
This is Domino's office.
Correct. Yeah.
All right, so we're here to collect a few key items. The first thing that we need is to get I think it's the trophy. Yeah. And then we're going to go over here, and in his frustration, he's going to go, I hate my job. Everyone gets better travel packages than me. I'm so sick of it. Oh, my boss's Domino's mouth guard. I really want to keep this. I recommend that you do not use anybody else's mouth guard. That's a big no-no.
Yeah,
and,
the only reason why it's okay for Manny to do this is if you remember we are skeletons and we don't have saliva. So it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I will say, he is already dead, so there is nothing else that can happen to him. The worst has happened. Except that's not true, and we'll get to that later.
Yeah, I was gonna say with notable exception, but
with a little exception.
Yeah.
So, I can't believe it actually says mnemonic in my notes too. I'm really sad about that.
That's wonderful though. I kind of want you to not change it ever.
So, you're in an underground resistance. How do you get messages in a corrupt undead world? You use carrier pigeons, of course, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, these pigeons are too far gone. They already lived a full life. They're dead. We got a loaf of bread earlier, so we crushed it up. Then we put a balloon in there that was full of air. They popped it. It scared all the pigeons. And we're not interested in pigeons. As the famous quote in Boiler Room, if you've seen that movie, says, "We don't hire stockbrokers, we train new ones. We're gonna train our own undead carrier pigeons from birth." So we just took a couple eggs, we're gonna deliver them back to the resistance.
And don't think too hard about it, you know, undead pigeons from birth, right? But just don't think too hard about it, because your brain might break.
Yeah, there's a really, really grim joke that I'm not going to say because it's my marathon and I have too much respect for myself, but I'll tell you off air later.
Okay, sounds wonderful. I'm looking forward to it already. Oops. Get that back out there. There we go.
All right, so we're out of the system. They're on to us. The jig is up. They finally found me. So we're going to take the mouth guard and fill it with Philodent.
Mm-hmm.
They got rid of our password, but not our dental records. So we're going to take these teeth marks, and we're going to use it to access the computer.
Yeah, we still need to infiltrate somehow.
Also, if you were upset about the pigeons that were dead from birth, you know, don't concern yourself with the fact that this undead woman has boobs.
And also don't concern yourself with the balloonist at the beginning somehow had lungs to blow up a balloon.
Yeah, right. Okay, now we're off to America McGee's creepy forest.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're chilling out with Glottis. Oh, there's Glottis. You know, things didn't go well for Glottis. There's like a heart that's a spider. There's a spider that's a bat. You know, it's all in good fun. This place it gives me the willies, but fear not. If you were a bad person, you have to walk through here to get to the afterlife.
Yeah, kind of penance served in a way.
Which is what makes the conspiracy so damn awful.
Yep.
We're gonna take this scythe, we're gonna cut this web here. And we're not gonna cut it so much as we're gonna use it to slingshot it. It's gonna land on Glottis, and Glottis is gonna freak out, which will get him out of his deep slumber.
Yeah, and by deep slumber we mean that Glottis is a little bit dramatic. In a fit of stress, ripped his own heart out and threw it. We skipped that in a cutscene, so that's why you didn't see it. But that was his heart that we were returning to him. So, just for the record.
And now we have the rocket car. And obviously, with a rocket car on our side, surely we will just blaze to the afterlife, to the train station. Except no, of course not. So this run is broken up into 4 separate years, all taking place on November 2nd. In those 4 years, we're going to have to track down Meche, we're going to have to do a bunch of stuff. And each year has a piece of RNG that's relevant to the speed run. In year 1, you have this robotic tree thing. What we have to do is we have to make the tree unstable enough that it falls over and clears a path. And the way that we do that is by using the wheelbarrow to run over the wires to loosen the gears on both sides. And until we do that, we cannot keep going. We cannot continue with the rocket car. So if you want to see orange in motion, Glottis is about to go yeet.
Yeah, there he goes.
Yeah, this is, like I said, this is like one of the only RNG parts of the run.
I got it exceptionally fast just now.
That's probably one of the fastest times I've seen you do it.
Yeah,
that's pretty crazy.
That might be. Maybe this split will gold. We'll see. I'll let you know. But that was really, really good. That was like exceptionally fast.
Yeah, it was awesome. All right.
All right, this puzzle is always one of my favorites to explain. So if you saw a little bit before, when Glass was driving previously, he ran into the sign which loosened it up, and we're supposed to have a giant puzzle in this room to figure out where to place the sign so we can get to a secret passageway. However, the spot never changes, so we just put it in the spot it's meant to go, and we skipped that whole puzzle. Nice little skip of a sequence there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love puzzles that never change. They make me feel so smart.
Yeah.
This coming up is going to be an example of the gliding tech that we were talking about.
Yep. After we pick up this key, I'm going to hit the transition point, and while I'm hitting the transition point, I'm going to simultaneously put the key away. So you're going to see me glide on the ground as if it were ice.
Now, while that puzzle was your favorite part of the run, my favorite part of the run is coming up because it makes almost 0 sense.
I can try to make it make sense, but it's not, you know, it's not great. So we got some beavers. We got a beaver issue.
You may notice the beavers are on fire.
Mm-hmm.
They make dams out of bones. They're angry, and they're above a river of what can only be described as oil or tar, which is the exact place that you want to be if you're a flaming beaver. So the beavers, even though they... Good.
Is that a prequel to The Pathless? Animals on Fire?
Maybe.
Also,
on fire.
quick shout out to Oxalin. Thanks for the raid. Welcome, everyone. We do not condone the putting on fire of animals here, but we are for donating to a good cause. If you feel like it, anyway, enjoy the runs.
I will say we're extinguishing.
8%. You can see it there. It's amazing. It definitely makes sense.
I'm a kill the animal, save the frames kind of guy myself. So what we've been doing is that these beavers are so gluttonous for more bones that they are going to swan dive into tar to get one more bone.
Mm-hmm.
And then while they're jumping, we're putting them out. And now we've cleared the way. You know, the road is wrought with the remains of people who couldn't make the journey. You know, la-di-da. But now we have a great convenient way for our rocket car. And now we're at the Midway Diner.
Yes, that did gold, by the way, that split.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that was really, really fast. But yeah, we are now in Rubikava.
Gladys's car ran out of gas, so much for going all the way to the end. We're gonna go talk to Celso, who is, if you remember from earlier in the game, we retrieved him from a body bag. He also received a lower class package. Some people who get lower class packages are just so fraught and like filled with despair that they are like, I can't get there, I'm just gonna take a job. So instead of going to the afterlife for eternal happiness and, you know, pleasure and whatever, he decided he was gonna spend the rest of eternity mopping the floor of this diner. Not a great gig. Minimum wage is not a living wage. So, you know, now he just mops floors of Rubikava. This is towards the end of year 1.
Yes, we're about to be in year 2.
Yeah, we're winding down now. We're gonna make our way back to Celso. Celso has a whole side plot where we're gonna help him find his own way, and we're like, okay, maybe we got here before Meche, right? Now we're gonna be like, hey, buddy, we're gonna renew your vigor to get to the end of the road, and but then he's like, oh, that's awesome. That's great. Thank you so much. Now you can mop the floor of the diner. And by the way, it's carpet.
That is one thing I haven't noticed yet. And I will say one thing towards Celso's motivations there as well is that he's also looking for his wife, which is why he's also stopped there, as his wife is meant to be coming by soon, and we are able to tell him that his wife has actually already passed by, which is why he leaves.
Yeah. So remember that old shoddy diner that we were just in? It's still Rubikava. We've turned it into a casino. We've become casino managers vis-a-vis, Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci. except, you know, a lot less violent. And now we're kind of like, hey, his wife already passed. We're going to wait for Meche. And then Meche and I and we are going to make our way to the Silver Bullet Rain, right? This is going to be what we do. And she'll stop through. Except, we just talked to the ship captain. Great news, Meche was here. Bad news, she left already. So now we have to get out of Rubicaba. This is probably the longest stretch of the run where you're in like one place, I think.
Yeah, it definitely is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so this is the Blue Cricket. It's a pretty chill place.
Blue Casket.
You know, I am blind. That is definitely an A.
Blue Cricket would also be a pretty cool name for a jazz club / hookah bar, but alas, it is the blue casket. A little bit more fitting.
You know, it fits the you know, macabre theme, but I just think the Blue Cricket would be a funnier name.
We'll send that to the devs. See if they can make any last minute adjustments.
Make new games?
Yeah, so that's actually worth bringing up. So the remaster of this, which is what I'm playing, is created by Double Fine Studios, which is a relatively popular studio, actually. So they are still in making all kinds of games as well. The original developer, of course, was LucasArts. So they're making games, I guess, but not quite in this vein.
Absolutely.
More in a galaxy far, far away kind of vein.
All right, so here's the deal. The only way out of Rubicaba the way that we can get out is we gotta get on a boat. We met the ship captain, but nothing is ever easy. We have a few puzzles we gotta solve. The captain has a boat that we have to get on, but he's not just gonna let us get on the boat because, you know, we're a casino manager, not a sailor. And Glottis has to come too. You know, what would Batman be without his ward Robin? But Glottis can come because Glottis is actually useful. He can fix things, right? Mm-hmm. He couldn't find an alternative fuel source for the rocket car, but he's a repairman by trade. But Glottis doesn't have any tools to work on the boat. So Glottis can get on the boat, but he can't because he doesn't have any tools. And there's no spot for us on the boat because we're not sleuthy sailors. So the first thing we gotta do is get Glottis some tools. And we just made the first mistake of many mistakes that we are going to make in this game. We gave Glottis what is it, the VIP card?
Yeah, it's a VIP access card to the larger casino in town.
Yeah, so Glottis, he's gonna go off and do some investigating or whatever it is that he does at the other bigger, larger, more successful casino. Nobody's allowed to be on the boat unless they are in the Maritime Union. So we also have to get Union cards. Yep. So toolkit for Glottis, 2 Maritime Union cards, and we have to get somebody else off the boat to get us on the boat. So everything that we do in Rubicaba is to accomplish one of those 3 goals. And also, this is the largest area of the game, as evidenced by the fact that we're like hoofing it across this to this Zeppelin.
Yeah, which doesn't really get addressed too much in the game. We don't really find out what the deal is with that Zeppelin, to be honest. It's just kind of there, menacing.
If you were you were kind of a jerk, but you know, you were nice about it, that's the 2-year travel package. You get to take a Zeppelin.
Yeah, babe. Yeah, that's good canon. I like that.
Double Fine, are you listening?
There probably is lore. So I don't remember if I ever told you this, CJ. So me and CJ got to do this run for a GDQ Hotfix show back in January, and very shortly thereafter, one of the developers found one of the tweets that announced that it was going live from Games Done Quick, and actually me and him talked a little bit about it, and he pointed me towards a lot of resources that kind of outline not only development details about the original game, but you know, some fun lore details too. Which is really, really cool.
Right. That's awesome. I want to jump back in really quick because we're doing a couple things. This lady has the hot for us. We drank some Goldschlager, so we would set off the metal detector, and then she was like, you know, men only want one thing, your metal detector. So she's like, yeah, you don't love me for my foxy appearance and the status that my job brings me? Fine. You want this metal detector? Throws it out the window. And this is a racetrack. And, you know, I like to play the ponies as much as anyone else. You may notice that there's a distinct feline decor. Because they don't race horses here. They don't race dogs. They race giant cats. And the metal detector went into the giant cat litter box. So, we are going to fish it out with our scythe. There we go! Because the metal detector would be finding the scythe, and then we could hook it out. So there we go. That's congratulations on that. Now we have a metal detector. And because we have a metal detector, we can go up to the VIP section of the casino, and that's where Glottis is enjoying just a snifter of port with dinner.
A snifter of port. Yeah, that's one way of putting it. So we talked a little bit up top about turning off voice lines, saving a lot of time. I said somewhere around 45 seconds. About 25 to 30 seconds of it alone is in this one cutscene. For some reason, and my theory is that based on the fact that we need to see this individual who's Nick, he's kind of like a mobster lawyer type, drop this key from his cigarette case, that the game will not allow us to forward through text or skip this part. So there's nothing I could do to speed this up, and the reason why it saves so much time is instead of waiting for the voice lines to play, it'll just put the voice lines on the screen enough for us to read it and then move on. So it saves us a lot of time in that regard.
Yeah. Nick isn't a criminal lawyer. He's more like a criminal lawyer.
Yes, very good.
Yeah, so like you said, you have to see that there's a key in the cigarette case. Like the game, maybe the developers thought that they would never find it if you didn't, like, do that. Like if the players would never find this key, they would just be forever soft locked in this, you know, kind of ugly designed casino. I mean, red chairs with purple carpet. What are we doing here?
Very 90s at the very least. If not a little bit earlier, maybe it's an homage to more like the 50s or something.
There must be a hidden compartment somewhere.
Yeah. Also, I always like to point this out too. For some, you know, Nick just accidentally dropped the key out of his case, but now the key is impenetrable to us. We cannot get it.
Yeah, nothing will happen.
Yeah.
So, okay, you just saw the service elevator. There's cask. We're gonna open up this cabinet. And we're gonna grab a turkey baster. Okay. Glottis is enjoying a few casks of wine with his dinner, and he's driving the waiter a little nuts because he keeps ordering drinks. You know, the poor waiter who has to deal with a terrible customer. As like penance for that, we're gonna lock him in the closet. And there we go. That'll teach you to be doing your job. Ho hum, ho hum. You know, as it turns out, the waiters union is actually the worst union to be in. Just in case you thought it was the travel guide union. In the process, we're gonna skip a cutscene. In that cutscene, Glottis gets really mad for waiting for the waiter and decides to come in and just chug directly from the cask. And now, we're in the empty cask. That dude from earlier is going to roll us down the service elevator. And then we're now in the basement. And that'll bring us deeper into the casino. And what we need here is, there is a suitcase that belongs to Charlie, who was the guy in the first casino. And he said that he will get us Maritime Union cards, I believe, if we get him his suitcase, right?
Correct.
Okay. This is the next part that Konception's gonna have to concentrate. This is pretty precise. What it is we're gonna use the forklift to stop the elevator in a place between floors. It only works when you're going up and not when you're going down. So he did get it.
Yes, and one interesting thing that I learned from that talk with one of the OG developers was that when this remake came out, there was originally, it had to be a big patch because higher end systems could not make that because the frames moved too quickly. So, and I find that I still have problems with it nowadays, because sometimes you'll just bring the forklift right up there and it will not slide through, even if you time it correctly. And which to the point is, for marathons, I actually have a save file that, so instead of, you know, taking the elevator all the way back down, then taking the elevator back up again, it wastes like a full minute. I'll just reload a save instead because we don't need to see all that animation.
Absolutely. All right, so we got Charlie's briefcase, and then he's like, all right, that's far enough. And you might be wondering, why is a skeleton acquiescing to a man with a gun? And that's because that gun got dirt in it, and that will quite literally make the skeletons take dirt naps and the big sleep and all those other, you know,
Euphemism.
1940s. Yeah, euphemisms. I'm gonna give you a pair of cement shoes.
Yeah.
Right? And so skeletons, if they get shot with these dirt bullets, whatever. Also, just casually, there is a blowing up area.
Yeah, and this one of my favorite parts. Yeah, so like I understand if from a security standpoint having a chamber like that for 4 bombs, right? So like, oh man, there's a bomb, let me throw it down there and it explodes and keeps everybody safe. Fair enough. But why do you have a chamber that causes an explosion? What security measure could that help with?
And under what circumstances would a bomb that explodes a tin case not destroy the silver key?
I don't know. It's, yeah, so you have to, weirdly enough, in this Land of the Dead video game, you have to suspend disbelief a little.
Yeah. Also, what was in that was a bunch of, that suitcase that Charlie wanted was a bunch of first class tickets.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he went to such lengths to get it and to then consequently steal it from us. Is this somehow related to the conspiracy? Who knows?
It is.
You're only allowed to have 1 ticket to the afterlife, which is gonna be important later. Now, after I'm gonna visit the the lighthouse, that's right. I always forget the lighthouse.
Hey, it's maritime in a way, you know? They like lighthouses, I'm sure.
I'm trying to... Sorry.
It's okay.
So these are the bees, and the bees are about to bugger off. They're like, you know, we don't need this shoddy treatment. And now there's a, you know, a strike of sorts.
Yeah, so we give them a book to kind of prompt them on their way to a strike, because we want them to give up their tools so GLaDOS can grab them. However, when they go on strike, we missed this in a cutscene as well that we just skipped. They're arrested illegally, so for forming a union. So they're now in jail, which doesn't help because we still don't have their tools.
If someone tells you you don't need a union, that's when you need it the most.
Exactly.
Let me just chip in right here with a $7.11 donation from Anonymous, giving us more allure, perhaps. Not a Zeppelin. We all know how that goes. Great to see you, Konception. Good commentary, CJ. So natural. Like you're in the room with me.
Oh, that's nice.
Thank you to Anonymous. He gave me a head nod. Thank you.
Yeah, the up nod. What's up, boy? We are good.
There's a case of stringent updock going on here.
CJ.
What's speed dog?
Heyo!
I did it because nobody else would have to.
Thank you. Ligma.
Nope. Don't make me. I'll bring out the Rodney Dangerfield. Oh, when I was a kid, I went with my parents to the beach, and I lost them. I said, Mister, you think I'll ever find them? And he says, I don't know, kid. There's so many places they could hide.
I bet you didn't expect some Rodney Dangerfield with this run, but we try to provide the best here at Speed Doc's launch party for you.
I'm telling you, this is the experience you just don't get from other marathons.
I can agree with that.
Now we're gonna go to the tattoo shop. This is the tattoo shop. Of course, the way that you enter the tattoo shop is through the roof.
Mm-hmm. As any good tattoo shop would be.
As one is wont to do. We're gonna, I saw Daddy kissing Santa Claus. Mommy kissing Santa Claus. Maybe Daddy.
Yeah, who knows?
It could be, either way. So, we had that turkey baster earlier, and we needed that because we got a bunch of brown liquid. And this big guy, he's like, ooh, needles. He's like, I need a swig of the beer. All right, go back and keep going, guy. While he's getting the tattoo, we're going to put some of that brown liquid in there. He's like, all right, give me another shot. And, he's, yeah.
He's going to
Lights
pass out, yeah. Used hookah water is what that brown water is, by the way.
Chuka water?
Hookah water, like from a hookah.
Oh!
Yeah.
Yeah, don't drink the bong water, children. That's never a good idea.
Yeah, definitely not. And the reason why, by the way, that we had to poison this person just so we don't seem like, completely nefarious, is that if you recall, we needed oops, I pulled out the wrong item, of course. There we go. We needed a reason to get on the ship. As you could tell, Naranja is a sailor, right? So we're going to knock him incapacitated so that we now have passage aboard the ship. However, the tattoo artist here just gave a call to the ship captain that says, your boy passed out drunk, don't worry, I'll make sure he shows up for work in the morning. So it doesn't fully help our situation. So we're gonna grab some dog tags to help out, and then meanwhile we just got a glitch for no reason.
Yeah, don't lose your head, Nate, please. You said this is a visual glitch that happens during the speedrun?
Always at that part. Yeah, always at that. And for some reason, it consistently happens there. I don't know why.
That's so bizarre.
Yeah.
So we stole his dog tags. We have the bedding slip machine that we got. And that's important. But we got the dog tags, and the dog tags are going to be important because every other plan that we've had to get on the ship has been a colossal failure. I believe that the betting slip machine is another puzzle, but the answer's the same every time.
Correct, yeah. You're meant to do some more like lore investigation, talk to some people, find out some more clues, so you could figure out what date you're meant to put in the machine to create a fake betting slip to get this result. But, because the lore never changes, that means the answer to the puzzle never changes. So we make it pretty easy.
Yeah, and the reward for the betting slip is that we're going to get a compromising photo of Nick. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's him in a mound of dirt. I'm not sure.
It's him making out with his boss's wife or girlfriend.
Oh, yeah, that's worse than the dirt thing.
Yeah, it sure is.
Yeah, so Glottis is a little bit of a lush. And, he has a problem. There's nothing funny about alcoholism, people. Mm-hmm. Get help. Today, you too can complete the 12 steps, but Glottis's alcoholism is his slip's gonna be showing a little bit here in a few minutes. It's just unfortunate.
Yeah. But we use this compromising photo. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say we use this compromising photo to convince Nick to lawyer up for the bees, so that we then have their tools. And then we get the bonus of being able to punch Nick in the face for being kind of a scumbag. So
a ring-a-ding-ding, sucker. Ain't that a kick in the head?
A kick in the head. We're not Bruce Lee.
Ain't that a hole in the bone? All right, so remember those dog tags that I was talking about earlier, and then remember that doesn't happen right away. I think it's about to happen now. Yeah, so This is the morgue. An unfortunate reality of the afterlife is that people get shot with dirt and they die. And so, we have the metal detector. So we're just gonna, while the guy's not looking, he's got the garden shears and everything that are like floating up and down, apparently.
Yeah.
We're gonna use the metal detector, and then we're just gonna ever so casually, while he's looking at us, toss the dog tags onto that other corpse.
He definitely didn't see that.
Yeah, he definitely didn't see that. Now he's gonna find it. He's gonna be like, "What's this? What's this? There's magic in the air." I'm gonna call the sea captain and tell him his boy is over here.
Different skeleton.
Damn it! Yeah, it is a different skeleton, but he doesn't know that.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't break into song and dance for everybody, you know, for all the runners.
I know, you have to appreciate it, and I have to imagine this mortician is looking at these corpses and thinking of happier times in Christmas Land.
Can you, can you imagine dying dying in the real world and then ending up, oh, there's a skull on the moon in the background. That's kind of new.
Yeah, yeah.
Imagine dying and then coming back as a mortician in the afterlife.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh man, what did I do to deserve this?
Oh, I really bet on the wrong horse. So our days of being a hot casino manager are near the end.
Yes, we're almost done with year 2.
So we have the tools. We have the oh wow.
Yeah, we got it fast. Yeah, that was the RNG section of year 2 there.
Yeah, and you did it instantly.
Yeah, yep, we got lucky. Again,
Didn't even give it time to preface it.
I've done this before though. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so if you, yeah, go ahead.
Good.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so that's just a cutscene skip there, but I accidentally tried to skip it too soon, so I got kind of locked in a limbo state. But I was able to walk out of it and back into it pretty quickly to fix it.
Yeah,
luckily.
don't blink, you'll miss this part.
Yeah.
We're on a boat. We got on the boat. It's exactly what we wanted to happen. You know, yo ho. It was actually a sailor's life for me. Pirates took the ship. Pirates killed most of the crew. It's just us and Glottis. They locked us in the engine room, which is weird because not only is it the engine room, it's also the anchor control area. And so they locked us in here. So we have the ability to maneuver the boat and maneuver the anchor. And again, you have to take one of those like leaps of faith with logic and just appreciate that this anchor is gonna rip the ship in half.
Yeah, so to solve the puzzle, what we're meant to do is we move the ship over so that there are 2 anchors on each side. Now they're slightly tilted. We have the anchors go up and down so that they grab each other. More or less, and then we use the ship's controls to rip the ship in half, which goes about as well as you would expect.
Yeah, you only get but so far with half of a boat. Now we're on the ocean floor, Glottis being some sort of demon and us being dead, we're not gonna drown. And then we meet our friend, and he's like, hey listen, there's like a bunch of like sea monsters underneath here.
Don't walk in the dark.
Light,
yeah,
don't go in the dark. And then he sings, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. And then Glottis is like, yeah, bud, that's nice. We're gonna take you as our light source.
Yep. Fun fact, if you somehow miss talking to this, our little buddy originally, you'll have to wait a full cycle for him to walk entirely around the boat and come back, which takes about 45 seconds.
Ooh, big time waste.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. But luckily, it's really easy to hit. You just have to be near the edge and then just hit the use button as soon as you can. And it's almost impossible to miss. But I did miss it on my first time because I was like trying to click and I just kept misclicking and stuff like that.
There is another boat, but unfortunately, it's currently being possessed by a kraken or octopus of some sort. And so that's going to be a no from me, dog.
Rightfully so, rightfully so.
Alright, now we're out of the water, but we're not out of the woods. See what I did there?
Also, we're still in the water.
Exactly. So, this is like a slave camp that we've been brought to. We're swimming now as opposed to walking, which is interesting enough. And our little light friend has been impressed into service. He was not impressed by the service, he was impressed into service.
Correct.
Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get a move on. This is the inner workings of a... We're getting really close to the heart and soul of the situation. Oh, we missed a cutscene there. There are 2 little children that are caught in a cage. You think it might be our goal to free them. And the answer is no. We're not going to free them. We're not going to save them. We are going to get something from them.
Yep, a little pickaxe. Very, very tiny pickaxe.
Yeah, so we're gonna need a little tiny pickaxe.
If I could ever pick it up. There we go.
For like Whitland or whatever it is that little enslaved children do. You know, pretty morbid, but I guess it's not called Happy Fandango. Oh look, that's someone we know. That's Meche.
That is Meche.
Let's have a celebratory cigarette for, you know, hanging out with us for 2 years. She's gonna put her cigarette ashes out on her leg, which means she's gonna have to remove her stocking. Hubba hubba.
Unskippable cutscene. Didn't just do that for fun.
Yeah. Oh, isn't this a nice song and dance?
Yeah.
So, we needed the we needed the stocking and we needed the little pickaxe because our little friend with the light is not very bright and also a bit of a pervert.
Yeah,
So-
we don't. I'm very confused as to what the stockings are for. I don't really know, but that's
He's a little annoyed with us that he's now a slave.
yeah.
So he's like, wait a minute, you have a tiny pickaxe? I'll give you my power drill. My jackhammer. Oh, and you have a stocking? I will give you that, and in return, I will give you, what does he give you?
A gun.
Yeah. So, for a woman's stocking and a tiny little pickaxe, he gave us his jackhammer and a gun.
Yeah, which just seems to make sense. There we go.
That man is not a savvy businessman. So we go back and we're like, Meche, where are you? And she's like, oh, she's not there. All right, we gotta bust her out, man. We got this jackhammer. We're gonna use it. Oh, we're gonna blow the darn door off. We got a little thing here. I think it's up. There's his head.
Yep.
And we're gonna break in here and get her out of the hooskow. This is a little puzzle where you have to get all the tumblers to face the right way.
Way harder than it looks, weirdly.
Yeah, for sure. There we go. Not bad.
I can hit it. There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
All
Not
right,
the
and then
fastest, but we got there.
Meche and all the answers that we want are just on the other side of this door. All right, put the scythe away for good measure. We're not going to need that because here's... Oh, Meche's not here.
Huh.
All right, let's close the door behind us. Oh, maybe there's like, you know...
Secret
a
door.
secret door! Where she was. All right, will you stop fuddling around and come with me? We need this big axe.
And that was actually a really good piece of speed tech there. So we need to grab this big axe in order to create a hole in the floor by dropping it. When we grab the axe, we're meant to move at like it's got to be like a third of our normal speed, or at least or half at least. It's really, really slow. But if I'm hammering on a transition point by clicking on it while holding my arrow keys at the same time, I will go not only at least my walking speed, but actually much faster than my walking speed, and I'll just rocket into here, which is actually hard to do because there's two very quick back-to-back transition points that I just hammer through, and I actually got like the fastest of the possible cycles there, which is really good.
So we've rescued Meche. She did a little blue skidoo, you can too, down the hole that we made. Now we're waiting on the beach until we can get a boat. At this point in the story, we think that Glottis is dead. You didn't see it, you didn't hear about it, they didn't report it in the papers, but he died. Except he didn't die, that's why you didn't hear about it. Domino threw him off the cliff. And Glottis is not actually dead because he landed on the broken hull of a ship. And now we're going to use that giant crane thingy to deliver materials to Glottis so that he can repair the boat, resurrect it, and get us out of this nightmarish hexscape.
Yes, exactly. So we have a fun animation skip here that we can do. What we're meant to see is that the chain and the bucket from this crane separate, but you're gonna have to trust me that they're separated because we skipped the entire animation, therefore we don't see it happen. But believe me, it's fine.
You know, seeing isn't believing, as the kids say.
Way more Christmas lore than I would have expected for a run that's based in the Land of the Dead.
I can go with other holidays, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
We got a #1 victory royale. So this is a this is like a 2B thing, and there's a chain, right? So we have the chain that's separated from the bucket thing, and now we're gonna get the chain to come down here. Funny thing about chains, it kind of behaves in the same way that wires do when you put them in a box. They go one way, they go the other way, it gets all knotted up and tied, and you're like, how the heck did I put 4 wires in? And then it turns into a big knot, and that's gonna wrap the chain around this little anchor here and allow us to pull the anchor up when we get back up here. And now, his little sailor suit. Now we have to fight. This is
Domino.
Domino, yeah. But we don't fight Domino because who has time to fight Domino?
Not us. We're going too fast.
Now we're knocking on heaven's gate.
So bad. So bad.
They won't let us in. They won't let us in because we don't have any tickets. Even though the people that lord over the gates believe us that there's widespread corruption, they are bound to the bureaucracy of the ticket rule, which means that in actuality, it is not the Maritime Workers Union that is the worst union, or the Waiters Union that is the worst union, or the Travel Agent Union. It is the Ticket Taker Union, which is the worst union. Glottis is a little out of it right now because he was summoned to the land of the dead for the sole purpose of going fast.
He's a speed demon.
He's a speed demon.
Yep. That's lore. That is lore.
They haven't been going fast over the past year or two. He is losing his reason for existence. We're going to get him back in shape. We need fuel for the car, the rocket car. That rocket car that could have gotten us here 2 years ago, but that's okay. So we are going to show these little blue dudes how to make it. And then, like I said, remember I told you about those balloons? Well, that's one of the balloons. We needed those balloons because of that. And, now we're back in Rubicaba.
Yeah.
This is your life portion of the Grim Fandango speedrun.
Yes. Yep. Exactly. So, as CJ so eloquently put, we don't have tickets. We need to backtrack all the way to our office, our travel agency office from the very beginning, and figure out a way for us to get tickets so we can move on. While of course also stopping this, corporate espionage that's going on. So we got to backtrack a little ways. So we take a train car back to Rubicava where we stall out, and then we're gonna grab our rocket car and hoof it back to the area. However, our rocket car is trapped by an insurmountable puzzle.
Yes, I believe it is surrounded by dominoes that, when tripped, will trigger an alarm and blow up the car.
That is correct.
So, we go back and, remember our friend Glottis, not the sharpest knife in the drawer,
Yeah, we're gonna be utilizing that a little bit here in a minute or so.
And we're going to exploit his alcoholism, which, again, you shouldn't do. Get help. 1-800-FLOWERS.
I don't know if that's going to do the same thing, but, it can, flowers still help with the process, I'm sure.
Flowers do make you feel better. Like, if you get flowers and you haven't been expecting them, it's just like, oh, wow, I got flowers.
That is nice.
Thoughtful.
That is nice. You're right.
Maybe I should get back on the wagon.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, look, here's our chug jug for Glottis.
Yeah, it's full of a liquid that the game calls lumbago lemonade. some kind of purple drink.
Purple drink.
Yeah.
It's not grape flavored, it's purple flavor.
Or somehow lemon flavored, even though it's purple.
Hey, listen. Purple lemons, man, it's a complimentary color. All right, so we're gonna give our friend Glottis. Hey, bud, you've been so good with your recovery from alcoholism.
Obviously feeling better now that we've gone a little fast as well, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. And possibly the most like you're gonna have to really just trust the game on this one. He's gonna Ralph, and Demon Vomit has the qualities of being both viscous in that it's thick and gooey, but also acts like glue that doesn't disturb the presence of anything around it except forces it into place. And so, when you combine those two things, we've effectively created an ice over situation over the dominoes and the bomb. We've now frozen it with liquid nitrogen, and now we can go to the car and it won't blow up.
Exactly.
So, demon vomit plus, liquid nitrogen equals... Oh, our boy got shot. I guess she doesn't bother to move the body.
No. And for some reason, the whole thing, turns into the bush besides the hand, which is convenient, but...
Oh, fun fact, that's the bird that we raised.
Yeah, the one that we grabbed the eggs at the beginning? Yeah.
That's our little birdie who they trained to be a carrier pigeon. Yeah, you don't want to run the risk of having a double Asian pigeon in your roost, you know?
Yeah, exactly. You got to be sure. Gladys having the time of his life, enjoying the hydraulics, but fun only lasts so long. We're gonna need that remote, which it will be a little bit useful for later.
Yeah, hydraulics, as it turns out, are gonna be very useful. We're back and better than ever, and we're in the sewers, as it were.
Yeah, the sewers below our office building, where we were working for so many years.
Dutiful service, I might add.
Mm-hmm.
And there goes the neighborhood. It's now overrun. It's a casino kind of thing, and so we need a disguise. We need face paint and we need costumes. So we're gonna pour hot coffee on these guys. As it turns out, the stage performer union is actually the worst union to be in.
I like that all these unions are the worst unions to be in solely because we're wreaking havoc.
Yeah.
No, they're always the worst, and it's our fault, basically.
Oh, it's 100% our fault.
Yeah.
It's for a good cause, but it's like if there was a real union, they would have done something about this miscreant getting people arrested, pouring scalding hot coffee, putting a hand in a can.
Trust me, it's important.
Listen, I know it's important.
I'm having the audience trust me on this one because, we're doing our best here,
It's still better than not being in a union at all, so...
Yeah.
At least you have people to commiserate you.
Very much so.
While I think that the gray pea coat is a good look for our friend Manny, he needs snazzy clothes if he's gonna get in. So we need to get him a new outfit. And that means that we need to get back with our boy Glottis and take a trip past Glottis in a different direction.
Yeah, we are gonna worry about the clothes, but not quite yet.
It's on the to-do list.
Yes.
Okay, here we are. We're back with Glottis. And gators apparently when they die they don't become skeletons, they just become bigger gators.
Apparently. This is also in the run. This is like such a heavy. I don't know what it is about this area, but you can soft lock incredibly easy in this area if you go too fast. So you actually have to slow down a little bit. It might have looked like I was going really slow with my menuing and stuff there, but if I go much faster, I'm gonna soft lock myself into my own inventory, which we really don't want to do.
Of course. And so, Glottis goes up with the hydraulics so that Manny can get up there. Then when Manny gets on the other side of the walkway, he lowers the hydraulics and traps the gator. This dude is paranoid for his life. This is basically an arms dealer shop because it's a florist. He's like, with his back to the corner, he went for the gun. But if you put the bell on the door, he's like, oh, I have a customer. What's going on?
Yeah. Easily tricked. You would think an arms dealer would be a little bit smarter, but not so much, I guess. Not so much.
This ain't a florist. This is a goddamn arms race.
Wow. Fallout Boy reference. Okay. All right.
Manny's a leading man, but the lives that he weaves are oh so intricate.
I didn't know this run was blessed until now.
This is gonna be the one that you submit when you're doing marathons.
Yeah, exactly.
New one.
I had some
Fallout.
church bells going off right before I started my shift, so they put in a good word.
Yeah.
Probably at the wrong place, but it reached.
Yeah, as long as it reached somewhere.
The gospel according to CJ. Thou shalt not horn in on thy husband's racket. All right, this this is a really interesting part of the game. This is this? I always get them confused. Nick,
No, this is Charlie.
Charlie.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna confuse Charlie by throwing a sheet over his head. There's no holes in the sheet, which makes it not racist. Then our boy, the man on the unicycle, is going to sneak over, ever so slightly, and not inconspicuously, with his unicycle. And he's gonna rig the jackpot on this machine. Because Charlie's like, I'm not leaving here until I get me what I came here for. And that's the jackpot. So he's being like a belligerent customer, but don't worry, our boy is gonna pay jackpot. And then he's gonna climb back up in his overcoat and hat. The hat stays perfectly in place.
They are
While he does that.
professionals. Yeah.
And then after Charlie is like, I finally figured out how to remove a sheet. I won the jackpot! This is me. I'm alright. I'm going to that party now. Sharing the wealth with my friends. And I'm gonna need that sheet, by the way. Because it's a toga party. And as you do when you get changed in a public bathroom, you leave all of your clothes on the bathroom floor.
Mm-hmm. Which is great news for us. You know, and obviously...
And even though he's a foot shorter than us, it fits perfectly. What's this purple guy's name again?
I don't remember. Hold on one second. Oh, jeez. I think it's... Is it... Yeah, okay, I got it.
Wow, you
Yeah.
got all three of the RNG things on like first try, dude.
Well, this one was still slow, unfortunately. So how that works is I forget this henchman's name. It's been a while since I played this game casually, but this henchman guards the door. Will not let us up to the mob boss here, whose name is Hector, until we can prove that we know him by answering a question about him that only his close confidants would know. However, the answer to the question is always a number. The number is on the bingo board that's directly behind us, but it is random every time. So while I was able to get it correctly, the number is always a number between 1 and 34. What you're hoped for is that it's like 1 through 4, so you don't have to scroll through several menus to get to the number. My answer was 29, unfortunately, so I had to scroll several times in order to get down to 29. But I did get it right the first time, so that is something.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you've had some really decent luck.
Yes, we have.
Now we're going to use the hand. Okay, we're going to use the hand and the grinder to grind the bone, and then we're going to. Is that dirt? We're gonna pour dirt on the
Yeah,
bone?
so it's fertilizer. You know, we've made a point of mentioning that fertilizer and bone obviously has a very interesting effect on each other, which is what causes, you know, skeletons to die in the afterlife. So what we do is we use some bone flakes combined with some of that fertilizer there in order to, you know, get by.
Absolutely. This is the final area of the game, the greenhouse. So, this is where my man is posted up. I think his name was Hector Lamont.
Hector Lamont. Yep.
Hector Lamont's posted up in a greenhouse, which might as well be an armory. We do get shot, and so this is the end. Except we were able to freeze the wound with the little liquid nitrogen, and get back up, keep fighting. So then we're looking, and we have the suitcase, right? We have the suitcase with the stuff in it. That's all that's left of that dude. He's just a head now. They buried his body somewhere.
Yeah, it's going to be behind the greenhouse, actually. It's pretty... What we're going to do... So this key, I mean, rather, this ticket is attracted to the owner's body. So we're actually following the ticket to go and find Salvatore's body, Salvatore being the resistance leader. Luckily, the body's, again, in the same spot every time, so we luck out in that regard. But the reason why we need to find his body is because we need a key to the trunk to get some weaponry to combat Hector here. All right, there we go. And for some reason with this animation, there's a long animation of us picking up the key from the body, but we can start moving during it. I don't really know why, but we sure can. All right.
Yeah. So we're getting ready. We're ready to square off in the trunk of the car. That's also something that we needed. We have lots of ammo. And now we know better, right? We know better. We just got shot in the chest by this dude. We're no match. We're not a gunslinger. And it's really not the point of a point-and-click adventure for you to blow someone's head off, right? That doesn't seem fair.
No.
Or equitable, or, you know, like something that would happen.
So we're gonna shoot it into this this chamber here, which this is a greenhouse, so makes sense that this is probably not gonna go well. By the way, time is coming up. This is my last input here, so get ready on time. Time.
Wow. That's like a, that's a good time.
It sure is. I've been in a lot of marathons now. I've probably done 40-something marathon runs at least. And I will tell you that this is the first time this has ever happened, but I just PB'd. That was a PB. That was a
Hell
PB.
yeah, that was below 1 hour and 5 minutes on our counter. It's still running. Someone is sleeping. Yellow crow.
Yes, but yeah, that was a PB. That's actually my first sub 105.
PB?
That was a PB. That was my first sub 105 actually.
A big boy! GG!
Yeah, second place on the leaderboard there. So that I guess could not have gone better if I asked it to. So
that's amazing. I didn't want to ask you. That's amazing.
I did not want to jinx it either, so I didn't want to talk about it at all until it was already happening. But yeah, that is a new PB. Still second place on the leaderboard here. Got a little bit more time to sneak up on first place there though. So we'll have to continue the grind a little bit, but. Yeah, that was Grim Fandango. To wrap up the story, we are obviously able to get our tickets here for Manny and Meche, but unfortunately, Glottis is a demon, and he's not meant for the afterlife. He's meant to hang out in the in this land of the dead here, and he just kind of hangs out. They part their separate ways, you know. And they love each other. So but yeah, just to give out a few shout outs here, thank you to the Speed Docs crew and everybody involved for having me on, as well as putting on this awesome event. It's been a blast to watch so far, and I'm only excited to see where it goes from here. Appreciate y'all having me on. If you please play this game if you haven't played it before. Really excellent casual experience. It's short, it's cheap, you can play it on everything. You won't spend more than $15 on the game, I promise, and you probably can spend less depending on if the games are on sale. If you're interested in speedrunning the game, unfortunately, it has a relatively small community behind it, so there isn't like a Discord. So feel free to reach out to me personally. You can do it on Twitch, twitch.tv/Konception2, or anywhere you find me, on Discord, on Twitter, or whatever. I'll be happy to give you some resources and get you on your way. And then, yeah, if you like speedruns of this nature, I'm also going to be doing another run for Speed Docs tomorrow around the same time. We're going to be doing some bug snacks. Very different tonally.
Bug snacks.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Very different run tonally, but such an excellent run. So if you like that, you like bug snacks, I do a lot of Pokemon runs as well. Come on by, twitch.tv/Konception2. We'll be glad to have you. So, but yeah, I appreciate it, and thanks for having me.
Thank you for doing this, and again, congratulations on a big PB.
Yeah, I would not have been able to PB if it wasn't for your commentary, so thank you so much, CJ, for letting me focus. because
Anytime, buddy.
I needed to focus there, so that worked out.
And because both of them are a little bit too humble to show for themselves, we have a speedrun insider with CJ on and with Konception. So if you want more of that goodness and their awesome chemistry, you can just hit up the speedrun insider. It is on the Speed Docs channel as well, right, CJ?
It is on the Speedrun Insider YouTube channel or on any platform where you get your favorite podcasts.
Yes, listen to that show. It's just such great guests. I love hearing my friends on that show, or just people I aspire to be. So that's great.
Thank you so much, Konception.
Thank you.
And with that, thanks again. Have a good time, and see you tomorrow.